Okay, guys, welcome to another edition of the Entrepreneur Hour. Today's topic, why Bitcoin will hit $100,000 per Bitcoin, in my opinion. This is a prediction video. Again, why Bitcoin will hit $100,000 per Bitcoin. This is a quick prediction here. If this is your first time visiting the Entrepreneur Hour, welcome. Make sure you subscribe, hit the like button. Really appreciate it. Uh, the the Entrepreneur Hour on this YouTube channel, I will share everything I've learned over my 20 plus year journey in being an active practitioner in personal development, business, entrepreneurship, small business, technology, marketing, personal finance, money management, investing, and real estate. I was able to bootstrap my way through business school, and I look forward to sharing with you the many lessons learned in the trenches. So hopefully you don't make the same mistakes I made. Focus on progress, not perfection. I look forward to hearing about your next success story. All right, so here are the 5 key indicators to watch closely relating to Bitcoin. So let's go ahead and jump into a couple things here. These are the 5 topics I'm going to cover. So mainstream adoption, who are the players, the companies that are acquiring Bitcoin in their as part of their portfolio. The fear of missing out factor is a big factor, and following the trend. We'll also discuss some Vanguard takeaways, and then following the headlines, why that's key, and then the scarcity factor. So let's go ahead and jump into some of these key indicators. So I'm going to first play a quick video here.
All right, Chamath, we don't have that much time left. Let's talk rocket ships. First, Bitcoin. That falls into that category because that's what that is. 39,000. Where's it going?
I mean, can you play the clip in 2012 and 13 when it was at 200 and everybody was laughing at me on CNBC every time I would talk about Bitcoin? Where is it going? It's probably going to 100, then 150, then 200,000. In what period? I don't know. 5 years, 10 years, but it's going there. And the reason is because every time you see all of this stuff happening, it just reminds you that, wow, our leaders are not as trustworthy and reliable as they used to be. And so just in case, we really do need to have some kind of, insurance we can keep under our pillow that gives us some access to an uncorrelated hedge. And it's going to eventually transition to something much more important. But for right now, you're just getting all these data points that prove this thing. It's just the fabric of society is frayed. And until we figure out how to make it better, it's time to just have a little schmuck insurance on the side. And everybody's running in. It's just an incredible thing. I could never have imagined it.
Good to be a schmuck, I guess, if you got in early and it goes to where you think it's going to go. The other rocket I want to talk.
All right, guys. So yeah, just some great points there by this gentleman here on CNBC. So again, mainstream adoption, the players, companies. So let's talk a little bit about that. So um, jumping into the headlines here, Tesla buys 1.5 billion in Bitcoin, will accept as payment soon. So that's huge. Anything that Elon Musk is doing, you want to keep an eye on. The guy is making moves. You can just read about his career, and this was posted on February 8th, 2021. So a week or two ago. So very key there. Also, various headlines here on the cryptocurrency asset class. Bitcoin is an asset class. Get used to it. That's Osprey CEO. Bitcoin market value tops 1 trillion as crypto believers pile in. Cryptocurrency price check. Bitcoin rises above 50,000. Don't forget, you've also had the market aspect of the GameStop stock, right? Using and leveraging hedge fund billionaire strategies against them. The collective people, they were able to flip things on its head, traditional sense, and really leverage the GameStop stock against the hedge fund and billionaires, and that really flipped the conventional thinking and conventional wisdom on its head. So really, really powerful about that. Bitcoin is in Tesla and MasterCard's wallet. Is it in yours? So these are very key indicators that are definitely important to point out. Also, here's another headline. JP Morgan says Bitcoin could rally as high as 100,000, but warns that such a surge would be unsustainable. Um, Another headline here. A Fed president predicts the Bitcoin boom won't last. Um, President of the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston says he expects a winning streak for digital currency Bitcoin to eventually come to an end. Personally, I've been surprised that Bitcoin has continued to flourish. Eric Rosegren, the head of the regional central bank, said in an interview with the New York Times on Friday, the digital currency is trading at more than 50,000 per coin, and on Friday surged to a market value of more than 1 trillion. That increase has been helped along as big companies like Tesla and finance firms like Bank of New York Mellon increasingly embrace Bitcoin. And then lastly here, modeling Bitcoin value with scarcity. So because again, it's built on Bitcoin is the first scarce digital object the world has ever seen. It is scarce like silver and gold and can be sent over the internet, radio, satellite, etc. It's becoming more and more adopted by the mainstream. So that pretty much covers, the mainstream adoption, players, companies, etc. That's some good indicators there. The fear of missing out on trends, that's another psychological factor. Some Vanguard takeaways. So let me go ahead and pull those up here. Basically reading the Vanguard takeaways, I just want to read them word for word here because these are very important. So here's the Vanguard takeaways. And this is one thing Vanguard couldn't get over from 2020. Uh, Basically, the stock market was setting record levels after the dip in March because of COVID-19, but then it shot back up and it continued to grow, and it's been growing ever since. And so basically, conventional wisdom, all these top investors and key players in Vanguard couldn't wrap their head around why the market continued to sustain and created record returns for their investors in a pandemic. It's because you had other indicators that were rallying, like unemployment factors wasn't as low as they anticipated, and various other things. So, but in regards to Bitcoin specifically, Vanguard considers it a very speculative investment. Intrinsic value consideration, underlying cash flow in companies. On the bright side, it's a technology backed by blockchain. So do some research on blockchain. Numerous use cases for these scenarios. Even though it is very volatile, it's triggered by fear and scarcity, but could be considered for diversification. But it doesn't pass the Vanguard test, which is why they haven't been very involved in it. But again, don't put all your eggs in one basket, right? Diversify, use it as another asset class, and I think you'll be fine. Here's a sample of my asset class breakdown here. 20% stocks, 30% real estate. You have your Roth IRA, mutual funds, 401k, Bitcoin, and savings. So that's basically it, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe. I'm going to be putting out a ton of videos on the various topics that I covered, that I spoke on in the beginning about the channel. And be sure you subscribe. Take a look at the links in the description below to some great resources I personally use. And lastly, check out my last video I did, how to make $1 million in 2021, the exact blueprint to do it based on the numbers. So with that, guys, I want to thank you again for tuning into the Entrepreneur Hour, where we educate, influence, and empower. We'll see you next time.